culture. You're listening to SewBro, where we talk and sew. Today, I'm joined by comedian and actor David Moore. You may know him from Netflix's Bad Trip.
And also the Ding Dong Show at the Comedy Store every Monday nights. We're on YouTube.
The Ding Dong Show at the Comedy Store. You heard it from him. How are you doing, my friend?
I'm doing great, man. How are you?
Good. It's great to see you again. It's been a while.
It has been a while. I missed you, actually.
I missed you too.
Yeah.
So you got that show going on at the Comedy Store.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm the sound guy and also the comedic performance on the Ding Dong Show. We were there every night. We're in the Big Three podcast. Don Barris's Big Three, Simply Don, the podcast, and we do. The show is just a live version of what actually does what they do every week on the podcast. So the live version of the show is it's the oldest running show in the Comedy Store history. Actually, the history lore of the show is that Mitzi called everyone on the show a bunch of ding dongs, and that's how we coined the name the Ding Dong Show. So,
for those of you who don't know, Mitzi is the goddess that founded the Comedy Store.
She's the founder of the Comedy Store. Yes, Mitzi Shore, and every so often, Pauly Shore, her son, is on the show from time to time. So keep a lookout.
Oh yeah, the Comedy Store, it's holy ground, and
sometimes Ross is on there, the Roast Master General, Mr. Ross.
Yeah, and during the fires, the Comedy Store was offering free shows for people, and I think that's so important, especially these days, that with everything going on in the world, the need to laugh, that these things aren't going to end, but we can laugh at the end of the day and here and there to help us get some breathing room.
Yeah, well, especially if you were in the fire with the Runyon Canyon fire. Because there was enough dog shit in there to keep that thing just going forever. There is so much dog shit at Runyon Canyon, you guys. I'm just saying, that's my take on that. So I understand if your house went down in a fiery inferno. I get that. You need a laugh. That's why they did it. It was a humanitarian effort. All right, I'm sorry. I'm done.
No,
so much dog shit.
Those are influencer dogs.
Hey,
those
they sure
dogs
are.
are allowed to poop there. They have more followers
They
than all
probably
my
do.
projects combined.
Would not surprise me one bit that happens. But yes, it is very famous shit. But it just went up in smoke about a few months back. So.
Yeah, the city smelled like a porch after a prank.
Yeah. Somebody definitely got punked in that park.
Did you have to evacuate at all because of the fires?
Where I was actually far north basically I was closer to Ventura Boulevard than I ever really was to Topanga, or the Palisades. Basically, the Palisades there's areas of the Palisades that got hit the hardest. So I was all north of that, even though we didn't. Where I was, it wasn't really even smoke or anything. It was still blue skies. I could see the helicopters pass. You can tell they were water helicopters because they flew around with big hanging dicks. You know.
Thank you. I'm glad we just hoses really.
Yeah,
just it looked
big.
It looked like an elephant
Look at the size of that son of a bitch. I'll put out some fires.
It looked like an elephant with a propeller on its back.
They go, well, you say an elephant truck. I say, a penis dick or a fly dick or whatever. I don't know. I don't know what the censorship was on this show, but that's what I looked at. I was like, oh, lucky, Not all of us are so endowed. Fucking. Sorry.
For all the UFO conspiracies, how come there's not more? I saw a flying elephant. I could tell by the size of its dick.
Yeah. I got probed by a limp dick helicopter or something. Like, oh shit, that's a story. Talk about your unsolved mysteries.
Well, those helicopters are cool because they're actually getting water, whereas I'm not. Did you hear that all the like fire retardant they're discovering? It's super cancerous and full of heavy metals. It's like, oh, you mean the pink stuff that smothers air is bad? Because that's why they put the retardant down. Is that fire can hit it like, whereas if you were to like water stuff down prior, it might help, but not as much as the retardant. So now all these neighborhoods that got hit with the retardant have all these problems in, and it's almost like we probably knew it, but just now that it's said out loud, it's like
yeah.
Because I was, even though I'm in Hollywood, I was going to I was in the valley on weekdays, and I was going to the hills on my way home and seeing the fire get closer. It just looked like a locomotive in the distance.
Yeah, it was definitely eating a lot of shrubbery.
Yeah, and that's also like, there was decades of just deadfall built up over there.
For sure.
Like, I remember hiking that where you'd go off trail bit and it would just be layers.
Leaves.
Layers and layers.
Just leaves everywhere.
The driest leaves.
The best stuff to start a fire with, really.
Like these leaves were drier than the women married to Trump men.
Yeah, basically. I mean, if you really wanted, you could start a fire in a deluge. They were so dry. It didn't matter.
All right.
Well, only you can prevent forest fires, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, they're like, only you can prevent forest fires. It's like, really? The cheap cable the power company installed in this high wind area seemed like it couldn't.
Well, they need to do a better job at preventing them. Everybody's all like, it was Edison. It was Edison the whole fucking time.
It was like PG&E in Northern California and whatever the company is in Hawaii. Like, all these like, when we put these high voltage things in dry areas, high winds, no supervision, and use the cheapest cables, for some reason, there's naturally caused wildfires.
There might be some sparks. Makes you think twice if you ever want to do your homemade, electrical line. And like, I'm going to use the best stuff. Like, if I want to steal cable, I'm going to use the best lines. No messing around.
Well, when I was doing my research for the fires, because I was like doing like little PSAs, because I was really mad about the coverage of it, I found out that all these power companies, fire departments know they're causing them. The fires, it's the big corporation, so of course nothing's going to get done. Well, then they look at campers and smokers and they're like, you did this!
Corporations can't run like people with smokers, I mean...
When you said corporations can't run, I'm like, yeah, it's harder to chase an abstract...
It's literally harder, because they're right there! You have to talk to their lawyers. Your lawyers have to talk to their lawyers, and blah, 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 and we get through that. But somebody with a bottle rocket and just a RV, they can always leave.
Define bottle rocket in an RV. Like, is that bottle rocket gonna...
Hey, look, I'm just saying, have you been to PCH and seen a whole line of, I would say, carpetbaggers or unhoused or maybe a little of both? I don't know. I'm just saying. People do what they do, and they may not be all there, and maybe that could have had a following. I don't know. Maybe they just like to see the water. But at the same time, it's so hot. Hey, let's fire off some fireworks. Let's make 4th of July every day. Oh, shit, there's a fire. All right, let me get in the RV and get out of here. Hell no, nothing. No, they haven't found any that I know of. The ATF, I believe, is the organization that is talking or in in the investigation of the fire, they didn't see any fireworks, I suppose. So there has to be proof there. So we're just making up shit. How's that sewing going?
I fucked up my thread and got a knot right in the middle.
How's that sewing going?
We're gonna cut to a commercial break. We'll be right back.
Yeah.
Okay, you say that one more.
Look, if I can fuck one cougar, I can fuck them all. All right, the charm never went away. All right, that's all I'm saying. I mean, I'll just put it this way: if when you get a certain age like me, I'm 43. Everything's wide open. Okay. Young, old, in between your age, my age, but definitely the old ones. Fuck, that's great. It's like, oh.
Old people need love too.
They do. Well, I mean, old is a perspective. As long as you see as old as a perspective, and when you see that, and when you understand that, like, there's going to be some older women that want little youth in their life. So I like to consider my Indian name, my Native American name, not to be confused with the other India.
You're indigenous?
I'm not. But my Native American name, if I had one, would be Fucks with Cougars, with triple X. Fucks with Cougars. And this was all based on coming up with this. I live out towards Agora Hills Way, and there's a natural. They're trying to build this natural passing so animals can not get hit by the freeway.
Yeah, I think that's great. And it's going to take them way too long to make it.
All you got to do is put dirt on it and call it done. I'm just saying, that's all you got to do. It's very simple. It's not exactly the high-speed rail, okay?
Well, exactly.
It's not a high-speed rail.
Okay. Well, they're just like, it's going to take us one more year. It's like, you've been at this for 2 years already, and then someone pointed out with the high-speed rail, it's like, China did way more high-speed rail in like 6 months.
Oh, yeah.
Granted, there were a ton of union violations.
Shit's built out of bamboo.
It's not, but
the shit's built out of bamboo.
You have no idea how much I want. Just as much more of a fuck you to eco-friendliness of
This shit's built out of bamboo.
Yeah, when the high-speed rail, it's like, hey, it's not going to go from San Francisco to LA. It's going to go from Bakersfield to Merced. It's like, who the fuck lives in Merced and Bakersfield?
Yeah.
You know those rich cultural havens?
Yeah. It's reverse excavating. Oh my God, anybody can do it. Just be like, hey, you got any free dirt? You want to just put a sign out there and just make it a drive or something. If you got any free dirt you want to give away, just go over there and dump it. We will not tell anyone you did it.
Well, it's like if the animals are willing to risk it walking across a freeway, I feel like dirt is going to be a huge improvement.
Oh yeah.
You're gonna need it. Are they waiting for? I thought okay, they're waiting for the plants to settle, but it's like that takes a few weeks, not like next year.
We're talking years before this thing is actually come to maturity. But cougars need to cross too, so I hope to see them hanging around. Fucks with cougars.
Is that what that cougar crossing sign at the Maui Sugar Mills is for?
You know what? It would not surprise me. It would not surprise me because I keep running into them in the fucking parking lots.
Dude, okay.
They don't know where the hell to be. They don't want to acknowledge you. You yell at them, they still don't listen to you. This is the best thing ever.
Okay. Do you remember Baca?
Yeah.
I was hanging out
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace. Baca, local LA entertainment scene legend.
Yeah.
He said, I told him about the Maui Sugar Mill Saloon, and he goes, oh, the Sugar Mill? I hear that's called the Maui Sugar Mill Saloon.
There was one time when, if there's any MILFs or cougars that like to hang around, they are very nice, and they definitely are super sociable. I just hung out with one. She bought me a free beer. That was before I went on. Before I went on, she bought me a free beer. Dude, she was with her boyfriend too. I was like, oh hell yeah.
There was someone who would fall in this category, who was a regular there, who I could tell I was drunk, and they were trying to get me to go back with them, and drunk me caught on at the last minute, like, no. But I was also like, I'm a few drinks away from being like, where someone could have been like, oh, I'm just taking him home, and it's like, no, not with her, please.
Okay, well,
but it was a weird like role reversal where it's like, oh, I got to be conscious and say no, and be.
Hey, look, it's all good and fine, but there has to just make sure like you get a safe word in there. You know, like okay, the safe word is help. Stop. No. Something like that. Banana hammock. Anything. Hey. You get that? You get that established? Hey, anything's cool. You know, who wouldn't want to do some freaky shit with something? If it's something that you're into, if it's something that you know you want to explore. The sexual journey is also a journey. Okay, it's a journey. Not everyone's gonna be on that journey, and you might find some extra passengers along the way. That's just the way it is. You gotta roll with it. And if you don't, if you didn't like the situation to begin with, roll on. Like, hey, nah. Safe word is spoken. I'm gone. So away, buddy. I'm just rolling here. I'm just. Anyway, I kind of want to. I don't want to change the subject, but I'm going to tilt the subject a little bit because just today I pretty sure I officially broke up with my current girlfriend.
I don't know whether to say I'm sorry. Congrats.
Don't be. Oh my God! Don't be really. No, look. No, all good. No good relationship end in breakups, guys. Okay, this was a shit relationship, and I have nothing to. We both are basically at blame here. We're both very busy. And it seems like every time we try to get together, it becomes a booty call. It's not really a relationship. It's a booty call. And she was like, I'm not a booty call. And I'm like, I know that, but I have needs. And so we keep, bumping uglies and shit and really doing a good job at it. Like, we're good at that part. We're great. But she's interested in something more than that. And I get that. Also, I'm pretty much gonna miss her birthday, which is let's just say this person's birthday is on May 5th. Okay, yes, Cinco de Mayo. I am missing all of that, and I don't have to pay for nothing. I might not even acknowledge that there's a birthday because we are broken up. I'm not gonna do that shit. I don't even know. I'm just saying I had my birthday recently, but I get to miss
Happy birthday.
And thank you. And I'm just like, maybe she'll call me on it. But keep in mind, we're broken up. I don't know you anymore. We're not. So I miss a chubby bullet on that one. Let's just say that I miss a. I'm like, oh, you want to end it now? Oh, okay. You got a birthday coming up, I'm not gonna mention that shit. This is gonna be great. Oh, that's some good weed, dude.
I mean, if you're gonna break up with someone, make sure to do it before
their holiday. Yeah.
Before birthdays, holidays, anniversaries, dude. Valentine's Day. Save yourself. It would suck if it was like their birthday was in the middle of like peak holiday season. Yeah. And then they break up with you, and you're like, I'm out. How much?
That's all I'm saying. A week later, we went to this expensive restaurant. I got to see, I got all this, and we chilled, and that was basically my birthday. But I can't return the favor because we're broken up. So that's how I feel about that. It's like it's just it's kind of like you know what? You ever just like feel unleashed or just let go of something that you didn't really want to do in the first place, and that's why it's like, yeah, this wasn't working anyway. We're good. Like, I don't know if you've ever felt relief from that. like, I feel relief from this breakup. I'm like relieved. I'm like, I don't really have to go out of my way to do anything anymore. I'm perfect. I'm the type of person that just likes to be sedimentary. Like a rock. It's beautiful. It's great. You know, yeah. That's how comedy is written. Just too much extra. There's just too much extraness. You're just like, really? You're that? Oh, okay. Good luck. I'm actually good. Now, I just want to let you know that I am not against all relationships. You know the right person when you know the right person. Okay, you're going. I'm gonna tell you, you're gonna. It's gonna feel like putting on a glove. That's when you know you're with
Jesus
the right
Christ.
one. I know, and I know that might scare the shit out of some people, but don't let it. Everyone is waiting for someone. I always believe that. I always have faith in that. So even though online people might say bullshit, or some people might be happily married and be like, yeah, he's not wrong. You know, like something like that. So I'm optimistic. I'm still optimistic. Plus, if anybody out there is willing to date a newly single man, I'm available. So, yeah. How about it?
Ladies and gentlemen, David Moore is on the market once again. Limited time only.
Yeah, limited time. I'm not going to stay on there, so you better hop on. Come on, bring weed.
Okay, so I have a serious question for you. Who are some of your favorite comedians? Who are the people that made you want to get into comedy?
You ever know when you see people and you see how comfortable they are telling jokes in front of a body of people, and the people are just eating it up. Oh my God, this is so good. But I would say, not everything is that way, and that's a lot of stage tricks. I've learned that over the years that no one is perfect at that. No one. I don't care who you are. You could be Don Barris. You could be still even then they don't get laughs. So a lot of that, believe me, you see a Netflix special, a lot of that is dubbed. It's a lot of dub laughter. Okay, not everyone is laughing. Just want to let you know that. That's a lot of smoke and mirrors, but I was bought by that. I thought I could do that. And one of my favorite guys is Tom Segura. You might know him from Your Mama's House podcast. He's always really funny. Those guys are just joke makers. And his wife, Christina P, is just the same way. And she's actually like really my favorite female comedian. I never thought I could have a favorite female comedian, but she kills it. I've never heard so much shit come out of that woman's mouth. But it's so right on. It's not like, I don't know. There's some that are just cute and not funny, and then there's other ones that actually do like they're working mom funny. They're women. They are not girls. Those are fucking women.
I love that term, working mom funny.
Yeah, those are those are the ones with the real issues, and they can make light of it through comedy, and that's where you start and it's getting, there's a common reality there. Not everybody is going to have a common reality with the audience, and that at the end of the day, that's what that's about. It's very, the audience is very everyman. Okay, so Christina P's. I highly recommend. She has a couple specials on Netflix. Look that up. That's what I like, and those are a couple of people I like, honestly. You could always go to the greats. Yes, Robin Williams. Yes, Richard Pryor. Yes. Dave Chappelle, of course. Dave Chappelle. All those guys are great at what they do. They're amazing comics. They are they are in the forefront of comedy. Nobody's as funny as them. Nobody on the planet. Okay, so those guys too. But yeah.
Nice. All great names. I like earlier Tom Segura rather than later Tom Segura. I feel like he got more mean when he got skinny.
That's all I'm saying. It was just it's a little it's still funny, but that's how I got to know Tom Segura, was the early stuff. And everybody has great early stuff. That's the important part of being a comic, because they worked at it. They were probably doing it forever and ever and ever, and they kept going and kept writing stuff and keeping little things around, doing the little things right. And that takes time. When you're trying to meet a deadline with a new comedy routine, that's even harder, because they're expecting more. Everybody's expecting more. Your producer's expecting more. Your agent's expecting more. Your fans are expecting more. So you got to realize there's a little bit of stress there. So not everything's going to come out the way you want it to.
Yeah.
How's that button going?
Good.
Okay, good.
I'm doing metal so it looks more historical.
I like it.
So
Gandhi will be happy.
Christina Pajinski, also in Powerhouse. Of course, Robin Williams and Pryor and Carlin.
Yeah.
Yeah, all great names and people.
Yeah.
So who's your most hated comedians? Like,
most hated comedians, I don't know. Everybody wants to be Andrew Dice Clay. They think the machismo is cute. They get up there, hey, oh. They still do it. Some of these open micers still do it to this day. And it's like, okay, well, I get where you're coming from, but you're just ripping off the A and the O and all that. And, I mean, you're not even from New York. You can't say that. Unless you're from the Bronx or some shit. You can't say A, O. You don't say that shit. You got to find your own. People that like the dick swing or ball swing in their jokes. It's like, okay, there's way too much. Or the one comic that keeps saying the N-word way too many times. Those are the most annoying comics to me. I know I'm gonna probably get a lot of hate for that, but if you don't have anything to say and you just fill it in with the N-word, stop it. You're not helping yourself. You're only playing to one audience.
Thank you for bringing up Dice Clay, because he's one of those, like, it's like Bill Hicks when I'm bringing up these names, and even like modern, like contemporary comedy fans don't know who I'm talking about, sadly. But with Trump, it's like, oh, it's President Dice Clay. It's if Dice Clay, it as far as just the misogyny and that, oh, it's just a joke.
Yeah.
Like, because
that's all I'm saying.
Dice Clay's thing was like, I'm a piece of shit. And then when people didn't like it, he was like, I'm going to be more of a piece of shit.
Yeah.
And he became like a Gigi Allen in like the comedy scene of just crudeness.
Yeah, basically. Everyone knew where he was at. Everyone knew the scum that he rolled in. And, just... And it's fine, man. Everybody's got their own thing, and that's how he... That's his claim to fame. He has a following. People like him. People, want to hear something raunchy. He's that guy. Everyone's going to have their own audience. It's not black and white. So whatever you find, whatever your niche is, make sure you own it. Just own it. That's all it is. Hang on, he's working that button really hard. Don't snap it. Don't stab yourself either. That Neil's a motherfucker. Good. That's good technique. That's good technique there, Ken.
I love the ESPN commentary. Keep it going.
This is fucking amazing. Gandhi is going to be fucking happy his shirt is done on time. You got to get it done before that protest. He's waiting. Oh, he's going with the metal button, ladies and gentlemen, because he says it's more old that way.
Yeah, this is a dense part of the...
The cool thing with that button is, when it's not on the shirt, you can also open a can with it. Don't ask me how.
There we go.
I've been known to pull some teeth with a metal button. That's just me. Okay, I've been there. A little metal button, some string. The doctor said, just give it a good yank and you're good. Maybe tie it to a doorknob. Who knows? Maybe run into the doorknob. There you go. Never mind the button.
So, we talked comedy. What music do you listen to? Are you a music fan or?
I'm a music fan.
Okay, so do you listen? What kind of music do you listen to just in your day-to-day stuff?
Day to day. Okay, I'm gonna have to rep my band 311. I'm a huge 311 fan. I've always been since '95. It's kind of like my Grateful Dead. I love all the members of the band. I actually personally know one of the members. I have a moving business. I actually helped his mother move. I helped the drummer of 311's mother's move. That's my claim to fame on that. And I've always been a 311 fan. And he's and Chad Sexton. If you're hearing this, if you still need someone to move, I'm still around. So I still got the truck. Always love hearing from you, man. And it was actually a pretty cool time. It was a pretty cool time. That was back when Chad was still living in California. Now he's not anymore. And yeah, it was cool. His mom was always nice to me, and she was a good cook. She fed us many times at the drum store. So it's just nostalgia. When I first got to California, they were all him and his brother were all open arms. They're very, very nice people.
Where did you move from?
Originally from Ohio. Go Buckeyes. From Toledo. Go Rockets. Came here, I would say, 2009, 2010. And it all started when my sister needed someone to rent out a bedroom. And so I was like, oh, I'm on my way. All right, got a place to stay. Hey! Stay with my sister. And ever since then, it was pretty, obviously I've moved further. That was at the time when it was like, we weren't really in LA, we were in a suburb of LA, we were in Santa Clarita. And so I was like, I want to be in LA. When you're a guy from Pig's Knuckle, Ohio, you want to be, in the mix. You don't want to be in the suburb. And my sister was in the suburb at the time, so that was kind of a disagreement. We weren't seeing eye to eye on that, so I moved further on, and everything else is butter now. It's cool. Once I understood that maybe I wanted to learn comedy. I didn't come here for comedy when I first got to California. I came here to try to do acting and stuff. So I did a lot of background acting and stuff like that. Worked for Central Casting, and got a few spots on shows, on TV shows. Mostly just kind of a blurred image of myself just on a TV. Like, hey, there I am. Like that moment where you're holding a beer and holding a beer and holding a cigar. I'm right there, like that. Leo DiCaprio holding a beer. That's me right there. See that? That's what I do. So that was a lot of that work. It was just background. You were way background. So
Nice.
Then I got my big break with still background, but hey, I'm not as far back as those guys. I'm a little foreground here. I'm about the foreground, not the background. So that's where Bad Trip came along, and that was a fluke. That really was a fluke how I got that. Originally I was answering an ad for a secret shopper in the Baldwin Hills Mall, and that's how that started. And then if you go and see, it's still on Netflix. It's Bad Trip with Tiffany Haddish and what's his name? I can't remember his name. I'm so sorry. I love this guy. Bad Trip on Netflix. You know who I'm talking about. Sorry, the weeds got me forgetful, but it
I have no idea what weed you're talking about. I'm getting my scissors.
Anyway. Yeah, exactly. No, I came in here high. That's where I love weed. Anyway. But anyway, that was I came in as a secret shopper, and we all sat down, and the next thing you know, the main guy of the show, Eric Andre. Okay. I'm not completely buzzed. All right, Eric Andre comes in, knocking down statues and singing like a little girl and stuff, and we were all supposed to be like, whoa! We're like natural reaction, okay? They wanted a natural reaction because, you know, we weren't actors per se. Like we didn't come in this thing being actors. We came in this thing being, you know, action and reaction. We were the reactionists. There were no actors there. There were reactors. We're the reactors. So that's how that came about. And then everybody's like, all right, just act natural. We're going to do it again. And it's like, oh, I'm on a movie. And no one would have known. And that's how that came to play. So that the rest is history. Came out on my birthday, March 26, 2020 was the release date. And at the time of its coming out, it was like, at the time, because everything was shut down. Remember, it was COVID. It was the funniest comedy in America because everyone was watching Netflix. So it worked out in my favor, even though I had to wear a mask everywhere I went. So no one really recognized me. It's a kind of a funny. It's a jump to conclusions, but it's what you call a misadventure, ladies.
You're like, I wasn't wearing a mask for COVID. I was wearing a mask so the fans wouldn't swarm me.
That's kind of it. I'm like, and I go to my friends. I go to my friends, and they don't even know it's me because the mask hides so much. I mean, with a cap and a mask on, I go to my friends. I go, hey, what do you think about that bad trip? Did you see me? Like, yeah, it was pretty funny, Dave. All right, how about you? Oh, I haven't seen it yet. Well, you better see it. It's out now. I just go to my friends, you know. But yeah, that was That was my my 15, guys. That was my 15 minutes. Try and make another 15, hopefully. But we'll see. Time will tell. I'm very picky and choosy on what I do, so you know. I'm like the Daniel Day-Lewis of the comedy scene. I'll do what I want when I want. Okay, you don't tell me when I want to do it. I'll do it. When I know it's good, it's good. Don't let that button kick your ass. Seriously.
No, I'm one down, 4 more to go.
Well, this is... He says he's a master at this. I don't know why it's taking so fucking long.
I never said master.
Gandhi's pissed as hell now. You're not going to make the deadline.
It is a tunic. I think we all know Gandhi wore a diaper.
Oh, well, he was clothed. There was times when he was clothed, okay? He didn't wear a diaper through everything.
He actually used to wear a suit because he was a lawyer for a period.
Yeah.
So, what are your thoughts on the fascism in America?
Here's what I have to say. I understand there is a following for that, just like there's a following for Andrew Dice Clay. There's a following. It's fine. Have your meetings. Who cares? But you know, realize human nature is to defy records, laws, gravity, things of that nature. Like I honestly think that this is just a fad that may or that might actually just be going away real soon. I'm hopeful that this is like nothing. It's just going to be another 3.5 years, and then whatever. I'm just kind of waiting it out. I'm in COVID mode basically. I'm ready to just kind of stay inside and watch more Netflix.
I can't tell if you're being serious or you're just trying to plug your thing again.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff on YouTube as well, like the Ding Dong Show. Why don't you just stay inside and watch that? And it might be constructive. That's just me.
I tell you, there's nothing on YouTube except for the Ding Dong Show. There's nothing on Netflix except for Bad Trips.
Simply Don the podcast, everyone. Follow it, know it, trust it.
So you're just. So your thing is just try to let it pass. Like we already went through this.
It's kind of like that, you know. He can't be in office forever, even though. He claims he can be, and that's going to be some fireworks.
What if they have like some Trump AI mimic where they're like, no, this thing is totally Trump and it's still president because we cloned his consciousness into his computer.
A Manchurian candidate is what he's talking about, ladies and gentlemen. A Manchurian candidate, basically a shadow of himself, which is just kind of like an underling. So basically, after the 4 years, there's probably going to be someone that is going to break off from that administration and try to run, and then that's the person that also runs the government through Trump's nod. So there might be that, but I don't think it's. I can't say it's destroying America just yet. I know we're already knowing wrong things are happening, so that part's destroying America. As far as, I can't really say anything until it's done. At the end of the day, I don't even know anything until it's done. This is all, I honestly, one big shitstorm of a bag, and I just think everybody should just hold on and just realize that, when the stock market crashes, that's a time to buy because it's low as shit and you can buy the shit for pennies. So just realize when everyone's crashing, that's the time for you to buy. just a little stock advice. Don't believe that the investors have already lost their shit. Okay, you haven't. You had no shit to begin with. You can only go up from there. That's the difference. Then when the penny turns into a dime and the dime turns into a quarter, then let it go or something like that. I don't know. You're looking at small gains, not big gains. That's all I have to say about that. I don't know. I try to keep it out of my mind and just try to stay positive.
I admire that go with the flow kind of mentality because
like him sewing this button on. I'm going with this. I'm totally going with this flow here.
Hey,
is the shirt done yet? Jesus. Let's see what you got here. Here, don't stab me with this. Let me see what you got. Let me see. Does anybody know what this is?
A tunic.
This is a tunic. You can go to bed with this. This is what old Hollywood used to go to bed with. Do you have a cap to go with it?
Yeah, you see that metal helmet?
Oh, protection. Gotcha. Here you go.
So, I have a question of how bad do things have to get for you to start worrying about the government?
Well, I already have chickens in my backyard, which basically means every day is Easter because they're free range and they want to land the eggs anywhere they want. They don't care. We're not laying the eggs for humans. We're laying the eggs for us, so we can make more chickens. So every day for me, if I want breakfast, it's fucking Easter. Every day. Every day. Every single day. And some of them are so free range they leave the property and go to my neighbor's house. And I say, it's your problem now. But, let's see. How bad do things have to get? Homelessness on the rise. Only a few getting really, 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 really fucking rich. And, yeah, I mean, the outside data will tell us when shit's hitting the fan. I'm going to trust the outside data. I'm not going to trust anything the government tells me. I'm going to trust the outside data.
Well, as we've already mentioned before, shit hasn't hit the fan, but it has hit the fire.
It has hit the fire. It might actually hit the fan again. Who knows? It might have fire with the shit. It might be a fire shitball. We don't know. A fiery shitball with the fan it just keeps going. It's an ever dry fan. The thing is still plugged in. It's plugged in with electrical tape. The fan is still rolling. There's nothing we can do to stop it. Yes, it's gonna blow up into some people's faces. Yes, some people don't have homes right now. Yes, that's what that is. But I mean, That's our problem right now. That's our natural disaster. As far as the rest of the country is concerned, I can't speak for you guys. I don't know what's going on in Pig's Knuckle, Arkansas. I don't know what's going on in my hometown, Toledo, Ohio. I don't know what's going on in the place. What's Scranton? Scranton. I don't know what's going on in Scranton, New Jersey. I don't know what's going on in or is it Scranton, Pennsylvania? I don't know. I have no idea. But some of these I always like looking at Trump supporters, and I like people know, when you're looking at a Trump supporter. They wear the hat. They have the shit. They have the swag. They have all the Make America Great Again stuff, and you're just like, and you're it's like you're looking at unemployment rates, and you're looking at his MAGA cap, and you're looking at unemployment rates, and you're looking at his MAGA cap, and maybe he can figure out what is going on. I was like, what? Why did you? What's the point? I don't know where I'm going with that rant, but whatever. Again, I'm also in shock. I can't really be angry at anything. I'm just in shock, and I'm just watching. I want to be the guy that watches what happened. Like you ever just want to like see what happens if you put a spray paint can in a fire? That's what's gonna happen right now. We're just kind of watching this thing kindle and then blow up on our faces. But we know enough to stand far enough back. We're not cheer for the can. Hopefully the fire just does enough. I don't know where I'm going with that analogy.
No, the paint can is democracy. It, in the past, has made beautiful works and has inspired people, and now it's being thrown into the fire, and we don't know who's going to get covered in paint and who's going to get shrapnel from the can.
Kind of like that. But also, I also want to. I also watch a lot of good zombie movies, and Shaun of the Dead is actually a really good one. One of my favorite movies is just everyone's just kind of like just rolling in their own little tribes, and everyone has their own like croquet bats and shotguns and stuff like that. So we're just going to be rolling in tribes and trying to conquer other tribes. We're going back to what the Native Americans have done for thousands and thousands of years before the white man ever settled. That's what's going to happen next. We're all going to be living in RVs and tents. If you have an RV, you're way better than a guy living in a tent.
Are you saying that Native Americans were living in RVs and tents before the white man showed up?
Not true. They had wigwams. They also had holes in... Literally, there are some tribes that had holes in the wall or holes in rocks. Okay, there was a hole in the rock. It was the Iroquois. They dug out holes in the side of the mountainside, and that was literally a hole in the wall that they lived in. So, no judgment. I'm understanding what the future is. I understand that our generation is probably gonna have to learn to be a lot more minimalist, and I don't know what else to say about that. I'm pretty sure whatever we still have oil wells in California that aren't even tapped, that are capped off, that people are still getting sick off of. So there's oil underneath LA, but if we just try hard enough, I think we could, drill some more.
You can tell where the toxic minerals are in LA because that's usually where they build the black and brown neighborhoods.
Yeah. There's a spot right outside. They were talking about this now. This was an independent guy, and they were talking about that they smelled methane and stuff under their house, and they were sick. And the gas companies didn't want to mess with them, and they had to sue them just to get them out there and things of that nature. So I'm like, well, is there oil still under there? Is there we're just not touching it? I'd be like, why don't we just, if you own the property, why don't you just bulldoze the house and start an oil well? And sell the oil. Even if it comes in a drip, it's like, hey, I got 1 barrel. Who wants 1 barrel? The thing about oil is it eventually will run out, but it hasn't run out yet. That's the thing. This is fossil fuels. This is all melted dinosaur bones and shit. We're good. Oil isn't bad. I don't think oil's bad, especially if it keeps gushing out of the ground. If it keeps gushing out of the ground, we got to get rid of it. We got to do something with it. And we have a refinery right out Manhattan Beach that refines shit like that all the time. They're not leaving. It's right on the beach. If you're ever on a bicycle on Manhattan Beach and you see a Chevron oil plant, you're welcome, because they're there to catch all the oil all that freight oil that's been sticking out of California for years and years and years. I'm not a scientist. I just understand supply and demand. Maybe that's my problem. I don't know. Any other questions, please?
You're not a scientist? I had you on here because you were my foremost oil expert.
Oh, goodness gracious. I'm far from that. I am... It's just me in a Google map trying to figure out where the lowest price gases are, okay? And even the Google map's fucking that up. So I don't... I go, low gas prices. They're literally there's like a little question mark that comes out of it. It just it's like, you're fucked. You will sincerely get a postcard from Google like, we haven't found any low gas prices since 1994. Sorry, bud. There we go. How's the sewing going? Back to sewing, everyone. Sorry.
Like on button number 2.
He's on button number 2, everyone. This shit is getting good, guys. Number 2. Button number 2. We're starting this boy. Let's see what the first one looks like. Can we see what the first one looks like? Is that a completed process, or did you just abandon it?
No, let me cut the camera. 1.
Look at that. That's the first one. Look at that. Guys, by the time this is done, it will be cold again, and this thing will be ready to rock, okay? It will be ready to rock, and who wouldn't want a fat guy shirt? Why not?
A tunic.
A tunic, yes, a tunic, yes.
Okay, so if, say things do become bad enough in America, do you have a country you're going to flee to?
Wow, that's a tough one. I actually sometimes when I do my stand up, I actually go, what in the Gulf of America is going on? Everyone goes, oh shit, you went there. Like, yeah. I think Canada would probably be a safe option. Mexico's a little dangerous, but either way, America's guarding that shit like goal line defense. They're like, yo, you're American, huh? All right, fine, you can go. Let's see if you come back in. They'll try to sell you on the idea, like, yeah, you really want to go there? You sure? You really want to go there? Okay, all right, I'm not gonna stop you, but getting back in is gonna be a bitch. All right, I'm just saying, no insies, no backsies, insies, no insies, backsies.
No.
Once you're gone, you're gone. Some people are okay with that. I don't know.
That's kind of how the Berlin Wall fell. They're like, fine, if you want to go over there, go ahead, but you're not allowed back in. But people didn't pay attention to the not allowed back in part. And then a bunch of people went over.
Yeah.
And then the guards were like, you're not allowed back in. And people were like,
Halt.
but we left our kids at home. And it's like, ah.
Yeah. Well, sorry. They're going to have to grow up. The Berlin Wall is the best example. Good example, my friend. I think David Hasselhoff had a lot to do with that wall.
Go on.
Believe it or not, David Hasselhoff.
Did the Hoff bring it down?
The Hoff actually brought it down. He didn't bring it down with his pectoral abs or anything like that. He didn't do that.
Okay, because SpongeBob the movie taught me that David Hasselhoff's pectorals are the foremost artillery system of the Pacific.
Frankly speaking, he's not wrong, but that's of the Pacific. We're talking Berlin over here. This is he's not wrong, but we're talking this. At the time, he did a concert there. Apparently, David Hasselhoff can sing. This is one thing I never knew until I heard about this outlandish shindig that he had going on. He had a concert where he was singing, and apparently since Knight Rider he's been blowing up. Because keep in mind, he was hot in the 80s because of Knight Rider. Everyone remembers Knight Rider. He was the Hoff and Kit and all that. And I didn't even know he could sing. He did a concert there. Everybody loved it. And some hooligans got in there and they started chipping at the wall. And then next thing you know, the other guy started chipping at the wall. You could hear people knocking on the thing. And then Reagan came in there. He did a 5-minute speech and left. And then everyone was like, "Fuck you, Reagan," but they didn't really care about him that much. It wasn't even like again, what his intent was good, but it didn't help anything. He did do a speech, but it was more David Hasselhoff than it really was President Reagan. That's the god awful truth. As it was told to me, that's how I tell it to you. Okay? So if someone's MAGA on here, you're not going to believe anything I just said. I get it.
This is all news to me. I cannot wait to share this. So you're telling me Reagan gave a speech at the Berlin Wall and the Hoff had a concert
there,
and then the vibrations from the Hoff and the inspiration from Reagan is what brought down the wall?
Somehow there was something between both sides that somebody brought their own metal spoon or their spork or whatever and started chipping away like it was the Shawshank Redemption. Okay? Every little chip created a hole. The hole created the wall to come down. From there on, there wasn't that was it. Once it also had to do, well, keep in mind there was also a third thing. The third thing was this. The Soviets were no longer the Soviets, or there was a long time. The Soviets were in their own. Russia itself was having its own uprising. Okay, the USSR was about to be no more. Like they no longer were the USSR by 1991. So that means there was a change of the guard. So there was a lot of that stuff going on. There's a lot of change because people, you can't just separate your families like that. No one does that shit. Come on. It's humanity, guys. For humanity's sake, that wall had to come down. And for humanity's sake, this administration is probably going to come down. So just whatever's going to happen is probably going to happen. It's going to take a lot of people to make it happen. Again, an old football coach used to tell me this: you win with people. So that's something to remember. So you can't win without people. It's Woody Hayes.
Inspiring. You played football?
No, but I read a lot of it. I watched a lot of it. I like the coaches. There's just something about football and the coaching. It's just I'm a football guy. Okay, I'm a Steeler fan. I'm also an Ohio State Buckeye fan. Woody Hayes still. His ghost still walks the university. You can find him at Student Union or Woody's place. It's just a lot of lore, and that's the cool part about. Not everybody's into sports. I know you're probably not, Shane, but some people that are into sports kind of understand and get the analogy. It's sports, but it's also life too.
Nice.
The end.
I know, just the way you said, as a football coach told me, it's like, it made it sound like the coach told you that with 2 minutes on the clock and the game on the line.
No, I mean, he was a motivational guy. Usually most college football coaches or football coaches.
So it wasn't even your college football coach, it was a college football coach.
It was. At the time, I mean, we didn't exist. We existed at different parts of time. Like Woody Hayes was a coach back in the '60s.
Yeah, but you said my coach as a football coach told me.
Yeah. So
his coach told you himself.
Sorry, I take that back. He didn't tell me anything. He was long dead by the time he said that.
Okay,
he was long dead. It was Woody Hayes of the Ohio State Buckeyes. It was an interesting little thought. When he said you win with people, and then Another coach from the Steelers. Well, his name is. Anyway, the old Chuck Noll from the Pittsburgh Steelers. You know, this was what I heard from one of his players that you're winning all these games, you're winning all these championships. What's the secret? And he said, good people. He didn't say strong people. He didn't say, gifted people. He said good people. Okay, good people will help you. So there's good out there. There's good. There's something happening. Not everything is going to be what the news is telling you. I mean, you can always take what the news is saying with a grain of salt, because maybe it might be a little one-sided. There's no question that they may have sensationalized one part of the story to make it swing this way or to make it swing that way. That's just what they said. There's a freedom of the press, not a freedom to sugarcoat it or not sugarcoat it or whatever like that. So we gotta deal with that. The sensationalism of everything. God damn. You can't get away from it. But whatever. It's that sensationalism that'll get you. Nobody even knows. Yeah. Anyway.
So if Canada doesn't want you, do you have a backup country? Because I feel like Canada might be like, we don't want to talk to you Americans anymore.
That's fair, and we have every right. We fucking deserved that shit. We deserved it. Well, you're... they always said they wanted to shut down Guantanamo. I mean... I don't know. I don't really know. I really don't know. We're not... I don't think leaving America is an option. We can learn how to fix America, but there might have to be some fireworks that have to happen before that happens. We can fix America. We don't have to leave America. I still believe it.
Nice.
We can fix America, guys.
We can do it. It's just it's gonna suck.
It's gonna be some shit, but whatever.
Okay, so this is a question I've been asking. What would your last meal be if you were on death row? What would?
Ooh, good question. Oh, surf and turf, lobster tail and steak, side of rice, steamed veggies. It has to be like good rice, like that San Francisco treat shit, like that. Rice-a-roni. I like that stuff. That's my jam. Yeah, don't give me white rice. I'll get pissed. But steamed veggies, yes, steamed veggies, or you could even fry them. And if they have like a little vinaigrette like dressing in there, you get a little bit of, and it's so good. With like a little parsley on top. Yeah, that's what's up.
Nice. So, what shows have you been watching?
On besides the Ding Dong Show,
and Bad Trip,
and Bad Trip, I actually have been watching Reacher. That's on Amazon, and I'm not sure if he's pretty hot right now. He just ended the season. I think it was like his second or third season he just ended. And at the end of it, I want to see what happens, but I keep falling asleep every time I go and watch this thing, because I just know Reacher's going to kick everybody's ass and just walk away and take the bus or something. That's what he does. He's a very nomadic type dude. He doesn't have a place where he is. He just travels around America and goes to Goodwill's and buys clothes, and he might do some sewing just like Shane if he needs to, but he doesn't have to. Okay, he's a big dude and can take care of himself, and he doesn't really have a place to stay. He doesn't have a car. He's just kind of like, but he's been in the military, and he has all these military prowess about him. He has all this espionage stuff about him. So anytime he does a good deed, it's like he's helping a government agency like the DEA or the ATF or some shit, and they're bringing him in, and the Army's like, oh shit, you got this guy, all right, good luck, you know. We know him. We can't tell you anything more than that, but we know him. It's classified. It's very weird the way it's written, but it's very enjoyable. I've been watching it, so I highly recommend it.
Is it more believable than Tom Cruise's Jack Reacher, where that a 5'7" dude is laying people out left and right?
I haven't seen that one. I just caught on. You know, I know. No, fault me for that. I haven't seen where the original Jack, when the first Jack Reacher came on the screen, it was Tom Cruise. It was Tom Cruise playing Jack Reacher, and obviously now here's the thing. When the show came on, they kind of wanted a replica of that. But when they saw him, he looked like he came out of the WWE. He's a big dude.
Well, I heard because Jeff Tate, the comedian, has a rant about this of Jack Reacher in the novels was actually big and menacing. Okay.
Yeah.
And that's why he hated the Tom Cruise one, was because it's just like, I can't believe this dude is this much of a threat to all these mercenaries.
That's what I'm saying. Tom Cruise, you just throw him in a bag and put him in a closet, and you got the rest of the day to fuck with. Like, shut up, Tom Cruise.
Well, that Family Guy, Tiny Tom Cruise.
Yeah. That's, that's all it is. It's not, it almost didn't seem believable. But Tom Cruise, he's always trying to do unbelievable things. That's why we have so many Mission Impossible sequels. Because the mission actually is supposed to be impossible. Okay, it's not supposed to be done by everybody. Just Tom Cruise.
Well, Mission Impossible was smart. They didn't number their movies because otherwise it'd be like Mission Impossible 32.
Right. Yeah, but that's why Tom Cruise is Tom Cruise. He's doing all that, and more power to him. But just take Tom Cruise out of the whole thing and have this show the way it's supposed to be with the big guy being Jack Reacher. There's no influence from a big time action hero like Tom Cruise, and this is the way it's supposed to be, and it's actually really good. So that I like it better. I didn't see the Tom Cruise one, but I like this one. I'm really into this one. That's all.
Nice.
Snippity snip. Snippity snip. That's button number 2, everybody. Button number 2. We're making headway.
Yeah, this is a good note to wrap up on.
I think so.
Is where can people find you on social media?
Yes, the place you can find me on social media, you can find me on Instagram. I go by Enter the David. That's Enter the with a THA, lowercase David, and then a little underscore at the end of it. So it's Enter the David in Instagram. Please find me, follow me. We have a show every Monday night. If you're in Hollywood, come to the Ding Dong Show. Monday nights, 10:30. You will see me running the sound, doing the production stuff, and also if you hang around at a special time of night, I actually do some time. So I get up there and I actually tell jokes that people want to hear. So there you go.
You heard it here. Bad Trip on Netflix, The Ding Dong Show at the Comedy Store. I'm Shane Kenny Comedy on all social media. You've been listening to SewBro. We're out.
Woo! Button number 3. Here we go.